on today's show.
We discuss Giannis's tweaked ankle, whether Embiid is a top 5 MVP candidate, and the Rockets steamrolling the Nugs.
Big baller brand, Richard Jefferson, Trey Kirby, who will take home worst of the week.
And Airplane Jones takes flight in this week's Best Top 10 in Sports.
It's Friday, March 29th. The starter starts now.
Good evening, Sweet World, and welcome to The Starters, presented by Jack Daniel's Old No. 7 and Tennessee Honey. I'm J.E. Skeets, alongside me as always, Taz Mellis. We got the Aussie Lee Ellis, and over yonder, that's the bearded one, that's Trey Kirby.
Hey-yo!
Hey, yo!
Trey, what's up on a Friday?
Well, I'm here at the internet looking for your best tweets at hashtag the starters. And guys, the Spurs retired Manu Ginobili's number 20 jersey last night. The nearly hour-long ceremony was excellent. The big three were reunited. There was an ole, ole, ole chant going the majority of the evening. And Tim Duncan debuted a new hairstyle and made the best joke of the night. It was a great night. But one thing that caught our ear was our old friend Brent Barry saying that while Tim Duncan is the most revered Spur of all time, Manu Ginobili is the most beloved Spur of all time. And that brings us to today's question, which is a poll on our Twitter page at The Starters. Is Manu Ginobili the most beloved Spur of all time? Hit up our Twitter page at The Starters. Get your votes in now. We'll check the results a little bit later.
All right, excellent. On tonight's show, we're going to award the dishonor for worst of the week. We got your best top 10 in sports, and we got your best very solid play in sports. It's the only very solid play in sports, but it still counts. But let's start tonight with a little true or false. My man TK, take it away.
Giannis Antetokounmpo went for 34 points, 9 rebounds, and 5 assists in a Bucks win last night. But the big story out of Milwaukee is Giannis coming up lame midway through the fourth quarter after tweaking his right ankle. Milwaukee almost has home court advantage locked up. Giannis is probably the MVP, so true or false, the Bucks should shut down Giannis.
Shut him down. Shut him down. Yeah, you got it.
Why?
Why not?
I don't get why.
You're not playing for anything here. You're playing to win playoff series. Right. He's pretty important for that.
They're still playing for the 1 seed, number one.
I mean,
and they're still playing. There's nothing wrong. He was ready to check back into the basketball game.
Right.
He was very healthy enough to check back into a game where they're up double digits. So why is he injured? I understand we want to put him in bubble wrap. I get that. I get everybody's worried.
I'm just saying, what's to be gained outside of, like, for sitting him down for at least 3, 4, 5 games here? Maybe, okay, bring him back to the last game. You want to get him going a little bit.
Stay in a good flow. They're in a great flow. And
he just hurt his ankle, though. Like not long ago, he hurt this same ankle. Like, that's my worry.
It's not that hurt if he's coming back in. I understand. Just keep the same pattern that they've been going through, which is sit for a game here or there. They've got a couple more back-to-backs. Just sit him on one of those in one of those pairs. But I don't see it. You come back, let's say, after you sit 6 games, which is 2 full weeks. Game 1 at home, they could lose that game if he's a little bit rusty. They need him.
They could lose a series if they don't have him because he would hurt his ankle even more. That's
I guess you could say that about anybody.
Yeah.
I mean, he's ready to come back in the game.
The pattern right now with the Bucks is they're losing guys. I mean, it's not just Giannis. I mean, and you're right. In theory, he could have came back in that game. And he wants to play. Don't get me wrong. He's already talking about yeah, I want to play until coach tells me not to. I get that. He's a competitor. But maybe have him sit out a couple games here because you already lost Brogdon. Mirotic is out. The MJ from Delaware.
Dante Divan.
Yeah, you already lost the white MJ there. He's gone. So I just think shut Giannis down here and just save him from himself. That's all. Because it was also sort of a weird injury, right? It wasn't like he wasn't falling after a huge dunk or a big block. It was him going back up the floor and just stepped oddly on Temple's foot, and he didn't even roll it hardcore to the side like you normally roll an ankle. It was a weird little tweak there. So
yeah, but if the doctors look at him and say, you know what, sure, he's a little bit hurt, but he's fine, then he should play. I don't see any reason why you would just sit him down just in case, because just in case would mean don't let him play at all anymore, because anytime he go out there, he could injure himself. So I think maybe rest him a game or two closer to the playoffs. But other than that, I wouldn't go over the top with your precaution with him, because you need him to keep on playing to keep the flow going. They're already down a lot of guys, as you mentioned. He's out there, just get him playing. I think it's important to not be too cautious with an injury like this unless the doctors are saying, listen, this could really get out of hand here. Just make sure everything's okay.
They've almost have the number 1 seed wrapped up, though. What happens when they do that, let's say? Because they are very close. So the magic number, I believe, is 2. To have home court advantage, not only throughout the Eastern Conference, even if they got to the finals, they would have it over the Warriors or Rockets or something. Do you get that achievement? Do you reach that goal? And then maybe you say, all right, we've got that, Giannis, chill out for it. This wouldn't be the first time we see a superstar rest the final couple of games.
No, they'd probably do that
season.
anyway. They'd probably do it anyway. So,
ankle or not.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I think it's also just important just to see what his pain threshold is. It's to go out and test it out in a court.
All right, Trey. What's our next one?
All right, Joel Embiid was in straight-up beast mode last night, going for 39 points, 13 rebounds, and 6 assists with 3 steals and a block in the 76ers win over the Clippers. Embiid's an All-NBA lock. He's averaging 27, 13, and 3 while playing great defense on a team that's going to win 50, but he's also missed 13 games so far. True or false? Joel Embiid is a top 5 MVP candidate.
Ooh, yeah, where do you cut off the top 5 there? You got Giannis, you got
After
Harden.
5.
Yeah. You've got Paul George, you've got Lillard, you've got Nikola Jokic in there, you've got Steph, you've got Kevin Durant.
So it sounds like you're saying false, or I guess.
I'm saying he probably falls out. Yeah, he goes to about number 6. For me personally, I'd have Jokic in there because of what he's had done this season and how Denver has improved. The Sixers have been as good as they were last year, and Embiid has been brilliant at both ends of the floor. But I think Jokic has had a little more impact this season to last season for his team than Embiid has. But Joel Embiid's been brilliant. I guess it comes down to, really, if you look at Embiid and Jokic, who's your All-NBA first-team center?
A little bit.
Out of those
it could, because those, like, we're showing you tier 2 MVP candidates after Giannis and Harden, and Curry could be in the mix there for sure. And it's like, who do you leave off the list?
Yeah.
What do you think, Tats? Do you think Embiid? I mean, even the voters. Put yourself in the voters' shoes. Like, will he get enough votes?
I think I have a vote, Skeets.
You do?
No.
Oh, I was gonna say I don't.
It is odd
Can I
because
have your vote?
you sure?
Okay.
I wonder if we ever get a vote.
We're not getting
Who
a
gets
vote. Let's
one?
not go
Who
down that
gets
road.
one?
Let's not go down that road.
Because we're not, one collective is lame. That's terrible. It is odd because I think Joel Embiid is the best center in the game, but I would put Nikola Jokic higher in the MVP balloting. A problem is, Trey mentioned, 13 games missed. He's not going to get to 70 games played this year. That's sort of the threshold that MVPs have to reach if you're going to get there, historically. Paul George, I think, beats him out. Nikola Jokic beats him out, and the locks of Harden and Giannis beat him out. And then who's the 5th? I think it's Kevin Durant for me. We always
Lillard,
overlook
though.
him.
Could
Yeah.
be Lillard.
Yes, 100%.
That it might come down to, like, do voters just as they have, I guess, before, like, cancel Durant and Curry, like they cancel each other out and they're sort of just removed from the equation. Now, luckily, voters don't have LeBron to worry about.
Yeah.
Where does he fit into all of this year? Because I can't imagine he'll be top 5. He'll get some votes, probably. I still wouldn't be shocked by that. But
Yeah, look at this guy.
Yeah,
This
that's
guy-
the thing with Durant, like 26, 5, and
I know,
5,
I
over
get it.
50% on the best or second best regular season team in the league. But we've seen this so often now from him and from the Warriors that it becomes a little harder to appreciate it. Because you know how good he is, you know how dominant he is, but when you have the other storyline like a Jokic or an Embiid, they stand out a little bit more when you're voting on awards like this. But Durant, I mean, he's been as good as any other season he's had pretty much.
Embiid's numbers, when you round up, are like 28, 14, and 4, and a steal and 2 blocks, and he's one of the better defensive big guys in the league. He might get some Defensive Player of the Year votes. I mean, he's got a great case. And his team, he's missed some games, but they're going to be a 50-win team. They're going to be top 3 in the East. And I actually wonder if that comes into play, like, oddly, like, conference voting. It's like, you've got Giannis from the East, okay, and then it's all these West guys. Will another East guy like Embiid and Embiid sort of get a little bit of love as you get lower down your MVP value? Because when you fill this out, you got to put number 1, but then you got to go 2, 3, 4, and 5, and that's why we're getting into this question.
I think it would help if you had a bigger win total, because, they're at 48 wins right now, but it doesn't really blow you away, that win total. Right?
Trey, our final one.
All right, the Rockets beat up on the Nuggets last night, beating them by 27 points, largely thanks to a 40-19 second quarter that blew the game open. Houston has their own MVP candidate, one of the best offenses in the league. They've got the 3rd most wins in the conference, and don't forget they took the Warriors to Game 7 just last year, guys. True or false? The Rockets are the 2nd best team in the West.
That's true.
Yeah.
We've done this, though, now with the Rockets a couple times this season. We've done it with the Nuggets, for sure. Are they the 2nd best team in the West? We did it with the Thunder when they were rolling. Are they the 2nd best team in the West? But we're coming back. We all agree that it is the Rockets, and maybe they never let it go in the first place, even despite the slow start, 11-14 there.
Yeah, it was a pretty big statement win last night against the Nuggets too, who are going to finish 2nd or 1st in the Western Conference. But when you look at the Nuggets against the Rockets and the Warriors this season, they haven't been very good. So that, I think, is going to come into play in the playoffs. But when James Harden is rolling and Chris Paul's healthy, the Rockets are definitely a team that are capable of beating the Warriors, but everything has to come together for them to be able to do that. Like we saw last season, 3-2 up in the conference finals, Chris Paul goes down and basically ends that series. If they're healthy and everyone is out there locked in, playing the way they want to play and taking that game away from Golden State, Houston certainly presents the biggest threat to the Warriors.
Yeah, definitely on the court style-wise, the Rockets are the biggest threat to the Golden State Warriors because they can slow them down and kill them with one guy. That's a bit of a problem with them, is that they're very top heavy. They could have a little bit of an injury, but after that horrendous start, to be only 3 games back at second place, the Nuggets, is very impressive. We talked about it on the podcast today. We talked earlier in the season, are they going to miss Trevor Ariza and Luke Mbamute? They haven't right now because they're starting Eric Gordon in there. I do worry now that we're starting to talk about the Golden State Warriors and actually start to look at potential playoff matchups. Who guards Durant? Because Trevor Ariza, that was the most useful thing he had out there. That was just that body. They need bodies. And now Iman Shumpert is back healthy. That really helps their bench, but still a thin team, but a very, very good basketball team. That Melo experiment just killed everything on
the
that
start?
team.
Wow.
Yeah, not to say it was Melo's fault.
But
It
he
wasn't.
killed that team.
The experiment.
It's a bad experiment.
If they just came back with the exact same team as last year, minus Ariza, and not trying to work in Melo, I think they would be the second best team.
But also, they were just a little sluggish out of the block the first month. James Harden didn't have that source going in that first
Yeah, and then he
month.
put the team on his back.
Yeah.
And that's the thing. They've paired this now with some defense. They're the second best defensive team since the All-Star break. And we know the offense is never going to be a problem when you're led by Harden, Chris Paul, and then now Capella in there throwing lobs to him. So, yeah, it's going to be a tough out. Can't wait for the playoffs just around the corner.
There's some sauce.
But when we come back, whoa! Tass Awards is the honor for worst of the week. Why are we showing Kirby here? Whoa.
Intrigue. You're not leaving now.
The Starters is presented by Jack Daniel's Old No. 7 and Tennessee Honey.
Welcome back to the show. We cover the best league in the world, but sometimes guys make mistakes. It's time for Worst of the Week.
Ladies and gentlemen, the worst of the week.
First nominee, former NBA player Richard Jefferson. He's doing some great work on the Nets broadcast along with Sarah Kustok and Ian Eagle. He is great. But, and I use the word but appropriately here, he bared a little too much skin. We can't even show it to you. That's how much skin he was wearing. But he had some fun with it. He said those seats aren't made for 6'7", 240. Best view in the house. Richard having a great time. He has a great time with the broadcast.
He's awesome.
Adopted
Yeah.
really well. This is year 1 for him. It seems like he's been doing it for a long time. I've been doing this for a long time. I've been getting dressed for a long time. I also had a wardrobe malfunction this week. Tore my pants. It's not
Tough
a
to
huge.
see.
It's not a huge tear.
It's by the pocket there.
Yeah, I had sweaty armpits. If you want to see it on our Instagram page, and that in the same day, I just kind of.
How did you do it?
I don't know.
You think it was Rip Hamilton's fault?
That was the day Rip Hamilton was on. I had Sweaty Pitts interviewing Rip, and then I just heard a bit of a thread pull. I didn't think it was that big, but then I got home and my wife told me there was a huge tear in my pants. Second nominee, the Big Baller brand. They had a very, very bad week this week. Lonzo Ball severed ties with the co-founder, Alan Foster, because $1.5 million has gone unfounded. He removed his Big Baller brand tattoo, put a couple lucky dice on it instead.
Smart.
And is he foreshadowing a move to Nike here? Probably.
Foreshadowing and getting his jersey retired. Anyway.
Hey, Magic told him he was getting his jersey retired. And it was revealed that earlier this season, the Lakers asked him whether or not his ankle injury was caused by his Big Baller brand shoes.
We don't know if it was.
We do not know, but it's amazing that the Lakers went up to him and asked him,
Yeah.
hey, are your shoes causing you injuries? And I laugh. I mean, the guy was injured, $500 shoes that they were selling retail.
Right.
To the big ballers out there, not the small ballers. Small ballers, you don't get those shoes.
You don't get those. Did you ever put an order in for Big Baller brand shoes?
Honestly, I wish I would have put them in just because, I mean, it seems like Big Baller brand is going away now, so the resale value on the Zoe 1 or whatever they were called must be crazy.
I never saw anyone in pickup ball with a pair of big ballers.
Yeah, well, you play with mostly small ballers.
Yeah, well, that's probably it.
You're wearing a pair of deli shoes today.
Yeah, there's Australian big ballers, I tell you.
You want to get them up?
Get this foot up here.
Look at these delis.
These are really comfortable, actually, by the way. You can play basketball or you can go and cut the grass in them.
Yeah,
I was going to say, these are for mowing the lawn. These need mowed.
Those are daddy shoes.
They are.
Great nominees. But the winner, undoubtedly this week, is our own Trey Kirby.
What?
Well,
For touching Lee's leg.
no, not for
Touch a
that.
man's leg. What's the problem with that?
Nothing
Taz?
wrong with that, Trey. What's wrong is your picking this week. You started off 6-4 this month.
Cool.
You looked great.
Yeah.
And then you ripped off 7 losses in a row. Here they come.
As we all did. Oh, no.
Oh boy, there was a comeback.
Trey on the left.
Game winner.
Trey on the left. Trey on the left.
Wow.
7 in a row. You got one back yesterday, but
Yeah,
it's
so
all,
we all.
it's all coming down to tonight. You and Lee Ellis. If you win, you tie it up. We'll go to Monday for a little bit of a tiebreaker, but Lee could win if the Lakers beat the Charlotte Hornets. Lakers for maybe our last pick and payoff of the season. I don't know if we're doing it in April, but send in your suggestions. What should Trey or Lee do
It's gonna be
next
me.
month?
This was a tough, tough week. I followed my system. I was wrong. I intentionally went against my system. I was wrong. No matter what, just as many S's as Elizabeth Taylor.
So Trey's got the Hornets.
Dated reference. Dated reference. Also can't pick good references.
I thought you were telling that to
Bye.
Lee because Lee would get the dated reference. I don't know.
Yeah, I listen.
Yeah,
The man
pop
was
that leg
stroking
back
my
up
leg
here.
here earlier.
Some worst of the week nominees and winner there, but let's flip it to the best of the week because Giannis Antetokounmpo signing autographs was an amazing moment. This girl showed him her drawings for the last year. She's been drawing Giannis Antetokounmpo for the last year, so he had to come around, give her a hug, and then take a peek at her drawings. And yeah, she shed a tear along with everybody there, I'm sure. It was a
cool.
really, really nice moment. Giannis, face of the league.
Already.
Just give it to him. Not yet. He's got to win. He's got to win a little bit, but great moment.
Giannis, best of the week. Trey Kirby, worst of the week.
Thank you. Thank you all very much. Thank you. I'm glad we can all agree on this.
All right, when we come back, we got the best top 10 in sports. We'll count them down. Don't go anywhere.
Most valuable ankle. Coming up at 6:30 Eastern, 3:30 Pacific. We'll ask Sekou Smith if Giannis' ankle injury could cost him the MVP trophy. Plus, we'll go live to Boston to discuss the new-look Celtics starting lineup. Right after the starters, it's the Auto Trader pregame show, 10 before tip style.
Welcome back to the starters. It's time for the best top 10 in sports. Let's count them down. Let's start at number 10. That just makes sense. Jamal Murray is ready for the new Dumbo movie.
Oh.
He's got the circus shot, busting it out. He loses it here, and then flips it up over his head.
Beautiful.
Very nice. Gorgeous.
At number 9, this point guard, De'Aaron Fox, can throw down.
Seen a few of these from him
Yeah,
this
I
season.
want to get him in the dunk
Yeah, I
contest.
think so. I think he's worth
He's
it.
smooth.
Shoes are pretty too.
Fox. Star Fox. At number 8, we got 3 beautiful dimes. Let's start with Ricky Rubio dropping it to Gobert, who bangs it on McGee. Comes over and tries to get the block. Rudy says nope.
Pretty solidly.
Yeah, yeah, nice.
This one a little sexier, Lee. LeBron, bounce pass leading
Whoa.
Alex Caruso. Yeah, a little jelly finish
Yeah,
from Caruso there. Ooh.
nice.
And one more, we're not done. Yeah, LeBron likes it. Lowry with the nutmeg on Archie on the break. This is a gorgeous pass. Whew. Right in stride. OG with the finish. Ooh, okay.
Speaking of finishes, Trae Young finished the Sixers with this shot on Saturday night. The little float of hesitation. Oh,
Yeah.
wow, got him.
Why didn't Embiid jump on that, I wonder? He's right there.
Wow.
Floater is good.
It's a LeBron.
That's right, at number 6, it's the Plum Dog Millionaire. Mason Plumlee, skying, faking the funk with a nasty thrunk here. Yeah, he just sort of like guides it.
He barely catches it.
Yeah, pushes it in, slaps it in.
Little double tap. At number 5, both ends of the spectrum for Giannis Antetokounmpo gets dunked on by Clint Capella. That is nasty.
Yeah. That is legit on his head.
But watch this block the other way for Giannis, making up for it. Oh,
He's just like a big kid in the playground with little kids.
Yeah, I look like Bill Murray and Rushmore.
yeah, watch him go up. As Landry Shamet goes down, he's still going up.
He
Monster
could have
ball.
caught it.
At number 4, we got 2 crossovers here. First one, Chris Paul, yeah, sends Wilson running back to a South Pacific island. Bye. Say hi to Tom.
See you, DJ.
Yeah. And then he splashes the 3. And then this one, a little more controversial, of course. It's Lance Stevenson stepping on Jeff Green's foot. He goes stumbling, bumbling, hits the jumper. The Lakers bench explodes. Lance starts dancing. Now, Jeff Green did say, okay, he crossed me, if that makes everybody happy.
Lance was happy.
Jeff Green had a show for himself this week.
Oh, redemption is sweet.
On Dragon Bender.
He must be a Targaryen because he just rode a dragon.
April 14th.
Winter is coming. And number 2, Derek Jones Jr. is coming down the lane, and Vucevic knows it. NBA.com's Bo Estes putting it well. Vucevic makes a late business decision on Jones' airborne mission.
Yeah, get out of there.
Yeah, sort of duck at the last second. Guy can fly.
But the number 1 play this week, Jeremy Lamb. This is a game winner.
What?
Perfect.
You gotta watch Kemba Walker
Yeah.
as the shot goes up.
Lowry's reaction is great. Walker's reaction is great. They're down 2.
Come on.
Sweet. Even Lamb's reaction is funny. He's like,
Yeah,
I made
still
it.
contested it too.
Yeah.
Crazy, crazy shot from Jeremy Lamb. That coming in at number 1 on the top 10 plays of the week. All right, when we come back, Lily hits us with that very solid play. Oh, of course.
Yeah.
On Manu Ginobili
Oh,
night.
it had to be.
Go ahead. 3 games on NBA TV this weekend, starting with the Pacers-Celtics tonight at 7 p.m. Eastern. That could be a first-round playoff series matchup. Saturday, we got the 76ers and the Wolves. On Sunday, Jimmy Butler going back to Minnesota, going to hear the Boo Birds. And then Sunday, we got Hornets visiting the Golden State Warriors. All right, we asked you, is Manu the most beloved Spur of all time? We had a poll up. Trey, what are the results?
Close poll. 52% of people say yes, Manu is. Got a lot of write-ins for Tim Duncan and Coach Pop. Also, 1 for Rod Strickland.
Okay, all right.
He is beloved.
Was it Rod Strickland?
Reminder, tonight's Pick'em game. It comes down to Lee and Trey. Trey needs the Hornets to win on the road. If Lee has that Lakers win tonight, then Trey's paying it off when we get into April. All right, the Drop Podcast, it's up. It's available to go and download. We discussed Giannis's ankle, saving Devin Booker, and I asked the guys whether they prefer to unveil jerseys or raise them to the rafters.
I think I like the raising.
So do I.
You see a lot
It's-
more unveiling these
yeah.
days.
It's a
though.
little, it was almost a little anticlimactic.
Yeah.
For whatever reason.
More
Yeah.
can go wrong with a raising. It's happened on the starters
Yes,
before.
right.
Annually,
Worst of
we
the
do
week.
the starters award show. We hang up the worst of the year banner. It's
Something.
been a problem. You know,
Complicated.
sometimes the one side goes up a little bit higher. Yeah, that's why the peel off is more popular.
All right, Lily, VSP.
Yeah, we're going out to San Antonio, and really, this is a pass that Manu Ginobili himself could have made here from Davis Bertans. Watch this, back to what's his name, Marco Bellinelli for a
spicy one.
for a beautiful layup. Here it is again. I just love this stuff from the Spurs. Bellinelli, beautiful finish. That's what I call a very solid play.
Very solid indeed. Thanks so much for joining us tonight, guys. We'll see you on Monday at 6 p.m. Eastern. We're getting very, very close to the playoffs now.
Thanks for joining us, folks. And remember, you never know what people are wearing behind desks on TV. And you never know what happens when they pull out their leg.
Embrace the weekend, people!